game number 1, they went for green and yellow. Game number 2, they went for green and blue. Game number 3, they're going for green and teal. Like, what other variation can they do to confuse viewers? But anyways, welcome everyone. People, just get the pants out of your system. Say pants if you want to. This is Bay, a Hidden Cup 4 version of Bay, and we have made some tweaks from previous tournaments. The big tweak is the fact that wood lines are no longer guaranteed to be in the corner. It's going to be on the... Normally, as it's positioned right now, you're still going to have back wood line options. But the most important tweak is the stone positions. MbL has picked Mongols because Mongols were picked so frequently in previous Hidden Cups. Mongols would take advantage of the extra hunt that's out here. Mongols would use that hunting bonus, fight for water, and then they would wall up, and they would use the stone to get to Mangadai. What do you guys think about the stone positions in this version? I don't think Mongols is an easy pick here. This is a little bit more risky. Remember, you can't wall to the shoreline because land units can always run on this terrain. So if you wanted to full wall your base, you would have to wall like this, like this, like this. It's a lot of walling to go for. So think players are going to figure out strategies for this. It's not just going to be a Mongol fest anymore. And MbL, he has picked Mongols. He's going to try his best to use it here in the new version. And both Liereyy and MbL are just playing the show match today to kind of get a feel for the settings and to show you guys what they're capable of course. But both Liereyy and MbL will be in the main event of Hidden Cup 4, which is March 18th through the 21st. There are 8 names already in. The top 8 from Hidden Cup 3 already were given a spot, which, by the way, is like a free $2,000, by the way. I say free. They still had to play really well in Hidden Cup 3, so not so free. But yeah, the qualifiers themselves will actually start in a few days, and 8 more names will have to qualify over the course of a couple weeks. Another thing we did with this map and the quote-unquote fixed position maps is it's not always going to be oriented like this. So there's actually 4 different generations. Sometimes the water will be here, sometimes the water will be here, sometimes the water will be here. The same base layout where you have what you guys would call the belt if this is pants, and then the crotchal region with the water. That's still going to be consistent, but sometimes other aspects will change. Who did MbL and Liereyy lose to in Hidden Cup 3? Liereyy lost to Tato 3-2. MbL lost to Dogao 3-2. So they both lost in 3-2 best of 5 quarterfinals. Neither of them made the semifinals in Hidden Cup 3. And the game... And both of them were in extraordinary games in Hidden Cup 3 as well. MbL Dogao's game 5 was amazing because it was a 12-hour freaking day of quarterfinals. I think it was 13 hours, actually. There were only 4 best of 5s, but the quarterfinals were so competitive that the games just wouldn't stop. And then the last game was a Khmer War on Hideout, which was just, I think it was over 2 hours long. Quarterfinal day might have been the best day of any tournament ever. I personally think it is. I personally think it was. But close second place. And of course, there's some bias there. Was probably the Red Bull quarterfinals. That was also pretty sick. And that was largely because of the upsets, right? But in terms of the quality of games and the closeness of the sets, I still feel like that quarterfinal day of Hidden Cup 3 was just nuts. Right, Liereyy getting pushed back by MbL Scout. MbL with 21 HP, Liereyy here with 18 HP, so Liereyy will have to back away. I wonder if MbL will go out here for the hunt. Another civ that I feel something you can consider on this map is maybe Berbers. Because you have the faster vills. You can hunt this, and then run over here to hunt this, and run over here to hunt this. I don't know. I mean, MbL is just going up fast feudal here, and he's going to try and win water. He has docked. He has 2 fishing ships out, and Liereyy will have 2 fishing ships as well. And I thought this might have been the approach from Liereyy. Italians are good water civ, and many times you choose to fight for the water. But the idea of this map is to have options. I want the water to be important, but type a 1 in chat if you hate it when someone wins the water in a game, and then it's just GG. I will type a verbal 1 in the chat. I'm not a huge fan of that, except for islands. I like islands being like that, because that's what islands is about. But I didn't want to see maps where winning water necessarily means the game is over. I want there to be other ways to play. Let me tab out right now and say, can you please not choose colors that are so close to each other in the next games? Okay, I'm going to say that now because knowing these players, in the next game, whenever that happens, they're going to have some confusing colors as well. So I just got to get ahead of the game. 3 games in a freaking row they're doing this. I'm sorry, guys. And, ooh, MbL and Feudal. I don't think he has the HP to be able to commit fighting this villager and killing this villager, but he can delay. Look at that. Hey, he can just delay a bit. Ooh. I think he took too many hits there because now Lierey's scout could chase him down, but he's going to run home, and MbL already producing fire galleys. On Bay, water can be won or lost quite quickly. We've even seen strategies from players to simply go one dock and make demos to just take out the enemy fishing ships. I think that was Lix and Tim who did that. And in my practice games on this map, I don't think it's a bad strat. Because they're investing into all these docks and fire galleys, and if you take out their fishing ships anyways with a few demos, and you're investing into farms, or maybe taking the hunt as MbL's now out here, it would always be worth it. MbL really, really badly wants to save this scout, but he will lose it. And Liereyy really wants to save these fishing ships, and he will lose 1. Now it's 2 fire galleys versus 2, but Liereyy off to a rough start here, as he's even going for a 3rd dock. Now there's 10 salmon in the middle on this map. So it's 10 salmon. Actually, it might be 8. I might have gotten it wrong. Oh! Oh, what a great demo from MbL. Oh, that's huge. What a massive lead he has already. He had the better attacks with the fire galleys. He was faster to Feudal. And now that demo's landed, he could even deny this dock. Lierey's going to try and make palisade walls to protect the villager. But can you do that? You can. You can do that in this instance. Are you kidding me? I've always hated that. You shouldn't be able to wall out fire, man. People should still burn. At the very least, she should roast a little bit. I never understood that one. Thanks to E, I guess. But MbL still in a fine position. He actually positioned the demo in the middle there. Just hoping to get some extra damage in on the right fire galley from Liereyy. Anyways, Lierey's gone full water commitment, and he's lost water. Whereas MbL, he wasn't even going fully on water. He was taking advantage of the hunt. So this is a double whammy. He's Mongols taking advantage of the hunt, and he didn't commit as much, sorry, he committed 2 docks versus 3 docks, and he's winning on water. So maybe it's not just about the Mangadai with Mongols. Maybe it's just that fast uptime into getting a lead on water and then shifting over to the hunt. Anyways, best case scenario for Liereyy is he's going to have to shift into something else, and that's going to be feudal age military. Liereyy is getting wrecked on water. There's no other way to say it. Maybe a demo coming out could give him a comeback. He's got a demo coming out of this dock and then fires out of the others. I guess you shouldn't add additional fishing ships on this map, at least in this position yet, if you're MbL. I don't know. But anyways, I think it's 8 or 10. I forget the exact number of salmon, which is 225 food. So let's say it's 10 because that's easy for math. That's a little over 1,000 food. It's like 1,200 food, I guess. And then there's plenty of hunt out there. And Lierey's got a range in the middle of the map. He might go with spearmen and a few archers to pressure MbL. Actually, if we look at Lierey's scouting in a moment, and I'll actually show you now so you can see the mini-map, he does know that MbL is taking that hunt. He knows there's something over there. He scouted that with this scout, which he still has alive. He also sees the berries. So I think MbL, he's trying to use all this food to go up to Castle Age fast, which is kind of what the meta was back in Hidden Cup 3. Oh, Liereyy, it might even be worth it going for the fishing ships right now. If 3 are up against each other, I'd say it's worth it. Certainly more worth it than that. Great micro MbL. Yeah, I think MbL could get surprised in a moment. Let's see. Liereyy, good micro. Oh, great demo from MbL, though. And let's see if he pulls back this fire. No, he doesn't do that. Liereyy will be happy with it. Might as well use the demo here, I guess. Or you can just use it as a debate. Liereyy, what do you got here? He's got a few archers, 7 on food. Do you guys think it's a mistake for Liereyy not to take the hunt? I get that Mongols have a bonus for it. But just because there's hunt out there and Mongols are taking it and you feel like you can't compete with that bonus doesn't mean you shouldn't take it. The guy, he's adding farms right now. Like, why not send 4 villagers out here? Maybe he didn't scout all of it. I don't know. And he'll eventually have to rethink his strats a little bit. MbL on the way to Castle Age, making a market. This guy wants to take that stone and go Mangadai. He's going to get surprised by archers. MbL is maybe not aware of how to play this just yet. And I think in like a year ago in Hidden Cup 3, Liereyy would have no chance from here. But because we've changed the map up, Italians certainly have a chance here. Just because you can't wall and go on stone as Mongols. See how MbL is going for a market and a blacksmith? He has all that food banked up. That's nice. But he has no defense for archers. And big demo from MbL. And whoa! That was huge again for him. What the hell is that nose icon on the map? That is not a nose. That is called a town center, my friend. Only the best knows that. I seriously... Is he going to boom? I think MbL is going to get shocked by this. Remember, he lost his scout, right? Liereyy has fletching. This is MbL's point of view, guys. He's going to try and wall it with no military. You can't do that on New Bay. Or if you're going to do it, you need to commit super early. This is a very greedy approach. MbL will see the archers now. And MbL's got to be thinking... I can tell you what MbL's probably saying. In Norwegian. It's probably like, fun! As he makes some gates, he makes some houses, but Lierey's pressure is just non-stop here. Liereyy says, I'll kill you, thank you very much. I'll kill the next one, very much, or thanks very much. And I guess he's going to need knights? So, considering we put a lot of time into working on the maps, talking about the maps, and making tweaks, I'm really happy. I'm not happy that MbL is getting destroyed here. And he's, of course, still got a chance, right? He's still got a chance of being Castle Age. But I am very pleased to see the way that Liereyy has found some success for pushing here. Very happy to see that. So many villagers were killed there. 6 villagers from MbL went down. He still has the stone for a town center. And I guess maybe he wants to go into, like... He doesn't have a barracks yet, so I doubt he can make a stable, too. I guess this MbL will go into a siege workshop to make scorpions? And then maybe just boom and play defensive from here. Look at how Liereyy has built so much in the middle of the map. And that's the other thing about Bay is it's all about expanding to the middle. Still think Liereyy could have gone away with going out to the deer. And first thing MbL does in Castle Age is a siege workshop and a TC. So he's going to try and boom. Liereyy will click up to Castle Age here. And Liereyy, you could say, has a lead on water right now. But he's allowing MbL to fish still. Do you think MbL playing so many times against Liereyy makes it easier for him to bait Liereyy into water demos? Is that a thing? Has that been an experience between the two? I'm not really sure what you mean by that, rocking out. I think most players of the top 10, they know each other very well. They've been playing each other for years, so... Maybe some instances, you might say, like, playing against someone frequently will give you an edge. I'm sure it doesn't hurt. Okay, I just was confused by your comment about water demos. Do you think that Lierey's tempted to run around here? Because you can run around this. Okay, Liereyy was thinking about it. Is Liereyy an adult yet? I guess it depends on your definition of legal adult. Iggy's 18, so I suppose in most countries the answer is yes. Let me put it to you this way. If he was an American, he could fight and die for his country, but he couldn't drink beer. So, good old US of A. He's an adult in some ways, but not others. So Liereyy will have crossbowmen. Liereyy had to sell his stone to go up. So he really realized he would fall behind. MbL's got scorpions, and he's just patrolling the scorpions to the middle of the map. What's funny is he's going to hit the range, I think. Unless he's really paying attention to this. And he is. Okay. You can see the archer back there. Bonk. I don't know how the archer survived from 2 hits. Those are massive bolts on those scorpions. Not very realistic. think Lierey's going to go for siege monk play and just pressure, pressure, pressure. Update on the water, by the way. MbL hasn't really ejected, but players have kind of given up on the salmon. Not a life I'd like to live, but understandable, I suppose. MbL 45 eco, Liereyy 39 eco, and I'm really liking how this game is shaped up a bit. MbL's booming like crazy. Doesn't have a lot of offensive military. And I can't tell you if I've ever seen a Mongol player on Bay just be booming 3 TCs without a castle before. So the new version is definitely paying off here. I think Mongols are still top 5 for this map, and we'll have to see a lot more. I think the qualifiers will really tell us like what people prefer on this map. But I can see it being predictable and counterable possibly in some ways. I do like Italians a lot too. Liereyy just needs to be up to feudal age a little bit faster. Then they're fine. MbL coming, Monk coming, lots of pressure from Liereyy. Update on his economy. It's not looking too hot, truthfully, but second TC on the way. Again, just the small things. Why not TC here? You can take the deer. Every little bit helps, right? I like how active Liereyy has been with his scouting in this game. What changed in the new version of Bay? So again, I've touched on this, but a lot of people might have just got here. The main thing is it's a lot more difficult to wall off your base, and the stones are always exposed. So it's not easy to just win water, wall up, and just go for your unique unit. Like it was easier to do back in Hidden Cup 3. But what do you boom into if you're Mongols? Typically, it's Mangadai in a 1v1. Maybe he has to shift focus. Maybe he has to go for something else. As we see redemption for Liereyy, and that's early redemption. He's got 2 monks, and he's spending almost 500 gold in redemption, which means he can convert enemy siege. What's in the west of the map? Oh, Liereyy building a town center. No, MbL. What the? I'm even getting confused. Wait a second, MbL. Wait a second. How the? He just walked over here with 1 villain and is building a town center? If you believe this map is called Pants, he is currently on the belt. That is hilarious. That is such an MbL thing. Like, MbL or Max, those would be the only 2 players who'd ever do that crap. Of course, we know who's who right now. We will do some actual hidden show matches the 2 weeks before Hidden Cup, and Hidden Cup main event, of course, is March 18th through the 21st. But type a 1 in chat if you were not present live on stream to see any of the previous Hidden Cups. And you don't need to feel bad if you weren't, by the way. Hopefully there's a few names out there. It's a great time. So this year, so actually, hold on. Hidden Cup 3, all the maps that were played in the qualifiers were played in the main event. And still, players would prepare strategies and unleash these crazy strategies in the main event. Notably, Cup had some crazy strats. This year, only 7 maps of the tournament are seen in the qualifier. And then the week before the qualifier ends, we unveil the maps that will be seen for the main event. And there will be 4 additional maps, I believe. So it's going to add some extra spice to it. Because we won't be able to look at the qualifiers and know what strategy is going to come. And look at this. Now, MbL has a decision to make here. Does he delete this Siege Workshop? And Mangonel's at 90%. Oh! Oh, boy. Now he has to delete it. Now he has to delete that there. He fired and deleted, so his Mangonel wouldn't get converted. He kills 2 Mangonels, but now he could lose the Siege Workshop. You don't want to give Liereyy a Siege Workshop here. Liereyy might be behind by 20 villagers, but he's got a ton of control, and he says, hey, thanks very much, buddy. Now I can make forward siege. I think MbL should have deleted that. I don't know why he didn't delete that. That is a big mistake. He's now Mongols buying stone for towers. Look at how he's had to shift his strategy. He does have this TC out here, and that's cool and all, but I guess he could look for stone over there if he really needs it. Liereyy has 23 military. MbL was 6 military. Liereyy even, he wants to, could maybe add fishing ships and then go for some fish traps later on. That could be a good way to play it. Lierey's already looked very good today with his decision-making. MbL definitely a bit rusty by his standards. But the theme here is taking map control on Bay. MbL took water control. Has 30-some villagers. What's he going to do with it? It's hard to make siege now because the enemy has redemption monks and can convert your siege. Kind of awkward to go into knights because there's a lot of crossbowmen and the monks out there. But I think you've got to go. I mean, you either go really greedy into a castle. Our tower defense certainly was not a bad decision. You go really greedy into a castle, or you go for knights and hope for the best. Our towers ended up being very wise for MbL. And now you have crossbowmen from Liereyy behind here. MbL, let's just zoom out real quick and look at his eco. He's going to run out of space. If it stays like this for the next 10, 15 minutes, he will not have space elsewhere on the map. Whereas Liereyy is just controlling all the extra resources, except for this little area out here. 30 vil lead for MbL. Can he make it work for himself? Liereyy, I think, is about to click up to Imp. It is cheaper for Italians to do so. And there he goes. Wow. And he's on stone too, so maybe a forward castle drop could be in order. This group of crossbowmen will hit the wood line. MbL, while he has additional villagers, look at his idle eco time. 50 minutes of idle TC, or idle villager time. 14 minutes for Liereyy. And he's investing more and more stone into defending areas that ideally he would not have to invest into. I think it's a... MbL is going to benefit so much from this show match. And main thing I'm thinking of now is he should know that there's stone on the belt. He's even getting that relic right now. But if he knew there was stone on the belt, I think he would be mining that stone right now, but he's not looking for it. Stone could be really important for him. Mongols without stone and imp, kind of a... I mean, I suppose their siege is still incredible, but they're not the most exciting civ ever. I see him getting light cav. I see him getting a bloodline. So maybe MbL, he can find space to build the stables. Oh my... He's going to use this. So he's going to raid from this side. Liereyy will never expect this. Okay, so he's making the stables over here. And I suppose he's just going to open up with Hussar and then save all of his gold. What happens if Liereyy castle drops MbL at home, though? Like, Liereyy, on one hand, doesn't have defense at his own base for the Hussars. But then MbL doesn't really have anything to defend from the Treps. I guess he could always make stables at home. He is doing that. MbL doesn't have a single armor upgrade yet. It's on the way, but he was very late to some of these upgrades. Might even be worth it to get a second blacksmith in this position. Oh my goodness, I didn't think about this. Look at Liereyy. So Lierey's got 3 relics, and he's going over here to look for the other ones, and he will probably spot these buildings. I like Lierey's castle placement because he's expecting MbL to maybe have a castle here, and he wants MbL's trebuchets to have to come outside of his walls. I thought about that too when I saw this castle. He doesn't know he can comfortably place it forward. A little risky. All right, so now he can see the stables. And now he should probably, yeah, start fortifying, start walling. He's going to add a town center here. MbL with Hussar on the way. Mongols do not get the final armor upgrade. So the Castle Age armor upgrade is maxed out with armor. He can raid then. Mongol Hussars do get extra HP. And here they come. The winged Hussars have arrived. Da-da-da-da-dun. That's my best Sabaton impersonation. And Liereyy will lose Vils. And Lierey's already behind in villagers. So that one villager, that sneaky villager, just changed the game. And, oh man, this is going to be a nightmare for Liereyy. He thought he had control. And truthfully, it was looking good. If you look at the minimap, you can see how much teal's on the minimap. But he didn't keep an eye on this area. And MbL's now making more town centers out here on the belt. The idle time will go way up for Liereyy, and the Vil count will go way down. There is a problem to talk about here for MbL. And the problem is, if Liereyy starts snowballing trebs and units on the front, he might not have an answer. So, it does seem like this pressure is so frustrating for Liereyy that he has to bring all that force home, which is so good for MbL. There's things to think about if MbL doesn't have military at home. But my goodness, this has paid off. 78 villagers for Liereyy. 130 population for him. 150 for MbL. And Liereyy has all this military. He just can't engage against the Hussars. You have villagers dying here. Liereyy having to quick wall to stop the rot. MbL could still make Hussars. MbL could switch into Rams. Oh my goodness, there's a hole here as well for Liereyy. Oh, this is a nightmare. They both have a lot of idle time, to be honest. But this raid has worked out so well, and it'd be lovely if MbL could go into something else now. Massive score lead for MbL. Looks like he's even getting the Onager tech. And he says, okay, Liereyy, you're not going to expand anymore to the west. That's for damn sure. And I'm keeping an eye on MbL scouting. It seems like he can get this gold. He can maybe take this stone. He might even be tempted to ram this castle down. The castle, excuse me, is not that protected. T90, is there Black Forest Vikings only match in Hidden Cup? Yeah, if Hidden Cup finals reach 100,000 viewers, that's what we'll force the players to do. Oh, God, Liereyy. He didn't expect it. He's got too much to look at right now. He's trying to get forward, and MbL swooped in with more Hussars. Genoese crossbowmen are fantastic against Hussars. It's a little risky to just go for Hussars long term. But Onager, it's funny how we've seen nothing but Hussar and Siege, and even Hussar Siege seems to be doing work with Mongols here. Forget about the Mangadai with the Mongols. Just go for this. Liereyy is really frustrated now, I'm sure. It's also impossible for him to really push this area, because if he's anywhere near those siege workshops, Onagers are going to pop out. He just created a few knights, though. That's a little sloppy from MbL to lose that. And Liereyy... He's going to drop a castle here. I think he'll keep his Treb alive here. Oh my God, MbL! He deleted the freaking shot, too. He deleted the shot. I'll explain that in a bit. But a massive shot from MbL on Liereyy, just as Liereyy was trying to get this control back. There's another Onager here. MbL fires. He deletes again. Gets another hit. And guys, for some weird reason, I don't know why this hasn't been addressed yet. And you guys probably, many of you probably know about this, but if you delete a Mangonel after firing, it does more damage in all areas of the hits. So basically, like, let's say that Onager shot covers this amount of space. The middle tends to be where the most damage comes in. But if you delete it, it does the same amount of damage in every area of the connection. So it's, I have always understood it for deleting uphill, which has to do with the hill bonuses. But the fact that you delete on even ground seems pretty weird. But I'll tell you what, the highly specific thing that has mattered for a bit, and it's been more and more obvious here on DE, and MbL says, oh, you don't have anything at home? You're not going to have anything in the middle either, buddy. Rams coming in now. Hussars everywhere. MbL's finally on stone. But does he even need it? Liereyy also has his 4 relics in this monastery. He was never expecting to lose middle control. Or he wasn't expecting to lose middle control in this way, right? I think he was expecting to fight here and hold here, win or lose. But that one villager changed the game for MbL. 53 on food for him. I'd like to see him get siege ram, but he is spending a lot of food with the Hussars, and he shouldn't necessarily stop production. The belt comeback, and look, he's even in here again. It must be really difficult for Liereyy even to see these raids, because it's so tough as a caster to see green and teal, man. And this game will definitely be on YouTube. I don't know about the others, but in game 1 and 2, they had really awkward colors for the caster. 143 vills for MbL and 69 for Liereyy. And don't even say it. Don't say it. It's not nice. That's bad. It's not nice at all. 47 minutes into the game, that's the opposite of nice. The Hussars able to take decent trades there. And wow, man. Like, the raids distracted Liereyy so much. The game plan from Liereyy was simple. Forward castle, snowball arbalest and Genoese crossbowmen and trebs. Keep MbL off of stone. Keep him from expanding. And for all he knew, MbL had not expanded at all. And throughout much of Castle Age, he had pressure here. He had army over here. Like, he probably is really confused how MbL was somehow able to get a base on the belt. And he did this with 0 Mangadai. Now, Liereyy, he had a good civ for this map. Mongols still going to be a top-tier civ for this map. And we will see as the qualifiers start this coming week if Mongols is the top-tier pick for this map. I think it's still up there. Come Hidden Cup main event, which is March 18th through the 21st. YouTube, please make it. There's going to be some civ sniping and civ banning, things of that nature, which will, of course, the players will have to know what is strong on each map. But I'm still just so amazed that the Hussars changed so much. Liereyy had to send everything home, and MbL just waited and waited and waited and eventually took the position right back. Impressive. MbL showing that a belt is important to keep your pants on. Exactly, Taeed. That's exactly what I was going to go with. And let's look to the statistics real quick. 156 units killed for MbL. The KD, impressive considering he didn't really spend a lot of gold for his military, except for the onagers. And those onager shots were beautiful. And more food, more wood, and more gold collected for MbL. The 3 TCs he was able to get to in Castle Age because of this difference definitely paid off for him. And somehow, even though Liereyy made so much military, MbL held on. I wouldn't say that MbL would say that was an ideal game, like how that played out. Having to go into guard towers and buying stone with Mongols probably was not part of his game plan. But the best Age of Empires players adapt really, really well. And MbL did fine in that instance. I don't know if you could say lack of experience from Liereyy there. I think he did most of the right moves. It is really tough if you're a civ like Italians and someone starts using mobility against you. I think Liereyy just perhaps should have scouted a little bit more. Or you could just say it was good fortune from MbL. Like, no one else is going to send a random villager over there to build a TC when you're already on 3 TCs at home. That's just weird. But it won him the game. Hero villager number 2. Just like that YouTube upload I had not too long ago.